Hello, hi, I'm Zanzi. Welcome to yet another episode of Defense in Focus podcast, your go-to channel for informative, inspirational, and of course, inclusive conversation relating to military issues. Today, I'm with the beautiful host of the same podcast. Her name is Keboni Ramasimong. I normally say she's the only lady that I work with who actually qualifies to call herself with both her name and surname. Kibo, we are on this today. How are you?
Major Mashiane, I'm so glad to be having conversations with you today. We are excited to actually just decipher what's going on in the media and to sit in a space like this where we can talk about what matters in our military, in the SANDF.
Kibo, today we are going to talk about uniform. As you can see me, I'm geared up for you today. I don't want any mistruths or bloodlines when we speak about uniform. The conversation here today, Kibo, we're talking about the misuse of uniform. What are the repercussions of that? And to lead you into the conversation, allow me to say uniform gives me pride. It gives me identity. It gives me confidence. You are in the space of the military and you've got your own experiences. What are those experiences?
You know, what is interesting for me, I came deliberately dressed like this because it's also a simulation of what a combat uniform is.
Yeah.
But it's not it.
Yeah.
Because I respect what a soldier or anybody in uniform go through to earn the uniform. I feel like it's an earned regalia.
True.
You cannot want to
just decide you're going to make a fashion show out of it.
And it has been that for the most part.
Yeah.
You get people who are hosting parties and they will say military theme and whatever.
Yeah.
I remember that incident in the Val 2002.
Yeah, take me through that.
2022, where a guy came in
Yes.
and has going to host a big party and is posing as a general. The SANDF general.
The entire general.
Yes, and in his posters, he's in full military gear. And in my head, I was like, no.
I want to speak to what you said, and that is very important. You spoke about earning. What is it what do we mean when we say we earn the uniform? First of all, you need to have the training for it. Honestly, it is. I don't want to say a very nasty word out there, but it is disheartening for us to see people wearing uniform while they've not even gotten the chance to earn it, because these people go through training. Give a 2-year training. Mm-hmm. You're going through up walls and down rivers, just to be able to be taught that whole experience of your basic military training, and the next thing you get somebody on the street just deciding to wear this uniform. And by the way, it's also, as I said earlier, it's an identity. We've got so many departments in the world. Anyone could choose to decide. I've never seen anyone wearing nurses' clothes. Have you seen that? I'm just not comparing, but I'm just saying.
I think we are a generation that does not respect each other's professions.
To stick to respect.
Because when you go on social media, there was an incident also where a person was saying that they are a doctor on TikTok.
Yeah.
And he was prescribing medication, the danger that you are putting society in.
Imposting.
Yes. So now we're bringing in the military, which is the highest form of security within the country. And now you are wearing their uniform and pretending to be a soldier. That can endanger the whole defense in the country.
What gives me sleepless nights is because now they go out there, they rob banks, they are thieving with this uniform, they're terrorizing people with this uniform. Listen, they do a lot of other things that maybe we don't even know what they're doing at this point. I've been to a funeral, personally, where I'm from Limpopo, Renale, what we call the Piri. The Piri will be those gentlemen, gentle brothers that are standing around just before the coffin comes. They are the ones that dug the hole. Can I tell you how many people I've seen in that uniform? Yeah. And it was at the time of I was still very new in the military, because when you are still entering the system, there's certain things that you learn as you go. So you wouldn't know what to do when you see somebody do that. And I'm happy to know that we are actually supported by our Defense Act 42 of 2002 that speaks to that.
And what makes me worry most of the time is these criminal acts that you are mentioning now.
Yeah.
That people get hijacked, and they imagine being stopped by somebody in uniform. You would
Yeah,
stop.
you would believe
You would
it, yeah.
generally just stop, not necessarily thinking that there's anything sinister, only
Yeah.
to find out. But it brings me to a point where, what is the correct use of uniform? What do you need to look like?
You know what? I'm going to take out my phone and refer. So I read it out loud to you so you understand. Kibo, this is very, and the department is doing its bit as well to take out these media releases, making sure that people are aware of such acts. But I'm going to refer to it today. We've got the Defense Act of 2002, excuse me. It's what Section 104 and 5 and 6, which stipulates that. Let me say that again. I don't like how I said it. I'm going to speak like a professional now. South Africa, forgive me. I'm going on this one. It is the Defense Act 42 of 2002, Section 104, 5 and 6 that stipulates that any person who, without authority, Kibo, authority comes as key, possesses or wears prescribed uniform, distinctive marks or crests, even those nice shots that you want to go do, it's not allowed. Or performs any prohibited act while wearing such uniform or with such uniform, distinctive marks or crest, is guilty. You're guilty, Kibo. You're guilty of an offense and liable on conviction or a fine. Imagine being fined for such things that you can
For a fashion
control.
statement.
For a fashion statement. You either fined or imprisonment for a period of not exceeding 5 years. I wish they could make the imprisonment more. Just for it to set a great example. Because for me, what this state says to me, you are now imprisoned. Imagine being in jail for 5 years just because you're having this uniform that you've not even worked a day for.
Yeah, and also because it's registered and patent, you need to know that already. I can't just willy-nilly just wear somebody else's uniform. But going back to the question I asked, what is the correct use of the uniform? What do you need to look like?
Okay. Now, as I said, you must have had the military training. Yes. This uniform, you would wear it on a daily if you are a soldier or otherwise prescribed by the Chief of the South African National Defence Force. I say this because we've got honorary colonels that we invite to guests, to events that may be in somewhat. I don't know if you remember during the struck of COVID, when the president came in, he had our uniform on as we were declaring the shutdown of the country, if you remember that. So hence I'm saying the Chief of the South African National Defence Force, General Rudzani Mapwanya, is the only person who might prescribe that for any other people to wear it. But otherwise, if you're not a soldier, stop wearing this uniform.
Okay, so as a civilian, I see somebody in this uniform. How do I know exactly that this person is indeed a soldier or they're just posing as a soldier?
Okay. Now we're going to speak about, is it now personality of a person? Because
No,
you wouldn't know, as we spoke earlier.
No, just how they're dressed. Because I saw a TikTok again. I'm not always on social media, but I saw a TikTok.
Yeah.
This guy has got the full SANDF gear. He's got the bush hat. He's got the shirt. He's got the pants. But then he's got a white shirt on. He's got red shoes on.
No mixing of uniform. Anyone that's mixing uniform, you would definitely know that they are not soldiers. Also, key, I'm not taking you out of your question. The audience at home needs to also know what is important. Say, for instance, they've got a military soldier or military personnel in their homes who somewhat, by nature or by cause, dies from maybe a mission or any natural causes. They need to return the uniform. Because one of the other things that we've learned is these people get this uniform from our very own soldiers. Let's just look at home as well. And also the conduct of many other military uniformed members, it's also not in par. You know, when you say a bag of potatoes always has that one, and as a department, we are aware of that, and there are military disciplinary codes or military disciplinary codes. I'm saying the correct way, right? Help me, Gibo. That describes, and there's measures put in place for such.
Yeah.
So, mixing of uniform, it's your red shoes or fashion statement, or even modeling in it.
Yeah.
We've got models out there.
Yeah, and also I've seen that there's your rank insignias on your camo as well.
Yes.
So what we would call a camo is the combat uniform that you see Major Mashiane wearing today. We've got different types of uniforms, but this one particularly is the one that we're speaking to, where you need to have your name tag on, you need to have your ranks on.
Yeah.
There needs to be a South African flag on your left hand side.
Which is this one.
Yeah.
Did I ask you?
Yeah.
Am I representing you well?
So your boots are also important. Your socks are very important, and those are state issues. And Major, if you speak to us about how do you get issued this uniform, that it's tagged and all of that, if you can speak to us through that.
Okay, those are now internal procedures of the military. I don't know if we can go there, but there must be a quartermaster that you have went to where they probably have taken your sizes, and then it goes back to the parts where training. It's during training that's when you would understand what size boot am I on. I'm on a size 3. I'm just mentioning I'm on a size 3, and the procedure is you sign for it. It becomes issued to you. And at any time when you are terminating your contract with the Defence Force, or you are, resigning, Gibo, you've seen these things, or during cases of death, as I mentioned, you have to return the uniform.
You return each and every item that you are being issued.
Not the underwears that you can keep, but in terms of this particular uniform, you need to return. Otherwise, it affects also your process of your termination.
And the other thing that we need to speak to is the people, the manufacturers of the uniform.
Sure.
Because they are sitting with a very delicate material.
Yeah.
And I would assume that's where somewhere that material somehow slips their doors.
Yeah, it does.
And we end up in trouble where people are making all sorts of fashion garments for it. Yeah. And we also need to caution them. They also need to account on how much material you're using for how many soldiers per year. And I think it's something that they need to account for, because a lot of people, random people, you'll find with a camo. I work in the Defence Force. I can't come close to a camo. I can't even have a bag that's
Don't
got
you want
a
me to borrow you a
No,
shirt?
thank
It's
you.
wrong. I can't borrow you, people.
It's also probably even heavy because of the cost that you put your life, and you took the code of conduct to say, I want to be a soldier and I am in this uniform to represent a certain thing that I didn't go through. It's not right.
You know, going back to the point you made earlier relating to respect, not to compare with other countries, but one country that's always out there, and they're very proud and patriotic about themselves and their uniform, and their whole civilian culture understands their nature, is the US. Yeah. If we could adapt to such, if we can be able to be voices to speak to South Africans to say, let us stop, it's like an aloof way of doing things. They're not doing much for us. Whereas actually behind closed doors, there's a lot that the people of the military, in terms of soldiers, are doing out there. If we can be able to respect when they say the national flag is up, Nkosi Sigelela, the song.
Yeah.
It's similar.
It goes back to patriotism.
Yeah.
Every South African needs to be patriotic about their country, and also just respecting the symbols. And this actually is a symbol. The uniform is a symbol. And You know, we cannot ignore the elephant in the room of a lady in uniform who is a soldier and that misrepresented military discipline in a mighty way and unpacked her uniform.
She was on a fashion show, unfortunately on a different day. And, you know, as we do recruitment also, there's people that have various other passions.
Yes.
The military it doesn't limit anyone. It's a beautiful career of choice. I mean, we've got a lot of other people that do other things besides being soldiers. And I guess on that day, the lady had modeling day on. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
You cannot be modeling in uniform.
Okay.
We also speak into social media. The department also speaks to a lot of times, and I'm also very guilty of it, Kibo, of posting in uniform. But the nature of my job allows in a way because we need to put out the work out there so people are aware of what is happening. Hence, I'm saying there's prescripts to this thing. Uniform can be posted, especially when you are posting in a manner that you just described. I can't show it. I don't have it in me to show how that video went. And it's not even a personal attack to the lady because she's probably still a colleague. And we are just saying those type of acts are examples of what shouldn't happen.
Of what shouldn't happen when you are in our uniform.
Yeah.
But it begs me to say, as a civilian out there, and asking, if I see somebody in uniform and I suspect that they are not soldiers or whatever, how do I report? Who do I speak to?
Okay. First thing first, if you are not a soldier, the best way is to report it to the SAPS, South African Police Services. We work with them. They are our fellow brothers and sisters. They are also very much aware. Funny enough, some of them were soldiers before because we do this interdepartmental transfers at times, and you find this already soldiers in the SAPS. Otherwise, most of our training is similar. So you report it to the SAPS. And then if at any point you are a soldier then and you notice somebody who's wearing uniform, I know my fellow brothers, they stop them. Kibo, they stop them and they take it out. We will have to ask the producer if that is even allowed to stop somebody and take it out. But what I'm trying to get at is report it and then there will be other follow-ups after that.
Sure. Mesh, I think we have come to the conclusion and the crux of this matter.
Sure.
Where the uniform that we put on, rather the uniform that you put on.
With pride,
is a very specialized and a very almost sacred.
It is.
Item of pride for the nation, and as an individual, you've earned your stripes, you've earned your ranks, and therefore it's really unfair for the public out there to just willy-nilly wear it. But what comes across for me is that this is it's a crime.
It is.
And I want to drill it into people's heads that we can't be posing, we can't be imposters in the military. Stop doing it.
Yeah.
Because you will be jailed, you will be fined, and we see it more and more happening in later years. Why have we lost so much respect and patriotism of our own country? I think this is one episode that we speak about the pride of our nation, and let it just linger in our heads that I cannot make a fashion statement out of somebody's stripes, somebody's sweat, blood, tears, and think it's okay.
Kibo, I think we've said a mouthful, really. All we need right now for South Africans to do is to like, share, and post, and boast about it even. Big ups to a lot of soldiers, my fellow South Africans. They go through a lot for them to earn this particular stripes that you are referring to. And I don't know, Kibo, is there any parting words for you? Any words?
I'm good. I'm just saying, South Africans, let us just do the right thing. And the military are doing a great job. And we cannot We cannot in any way just pose in uniform pretending to be soldiers when we are actually not. It is a crime and it endangers the people of South Africa.
One thing I would just want to reiterate from the points you've made for South Africans, and then maybe we might just get questions relating to this. The parts where we mentioned that should it be that there is a soldier in the house and they have terminated their contract, they have resigned from the military, or by any natural causes have passed on, we return that uniform. Take it back, because those are the other reasons that we also need to look at. It's nice to mirror ourselves as well, Kibo. So as my last, bring back the uniform. If it serves you no use anymore, it goes back as the same way you were issued, you take it back to the quartermaster. And that's all I wanted to say. Well, Kibo, let's not forget to like,
Subscribe.
and share, or even comment on these conversations. We really want to hear from you, South Africans. We are ready to be corrected, Kibo. Otherwise, this is your informative, inspirational, and inclusive podcast of the Defense in Focus. I'm your host, Major Evelyn Mashiane, and it's a wrap.